not.
Well, it is to me.
Why?
Well, I can't remember things as I used to.
Oh, by the way, if you'd really like to know, he went that way.
Oh, dear.
The White Rabbit.
He did?
He did what?
Went that way.
Who did?
The White Rabbit.
What rabbit?
The universe is an overgrown forest of stories passed down and those that are new. Join us as we chase the white rabbit through these tales, whether they be fact or fantasy. You are now diving down the rabbit hole. Welcome back, folks. We want to thank you for following us down another rabbit hole. And I think today's episode would make our mascot Virgil very proud. You know, I think. Yes.
What's that?
Oh, hi, world.
Hello, people of the world. Hello.
Well, we are actually starting to record stuff today.
Okay.
This is actually going to be on a little snippet on TikTok, actually.
Plug it.
Oh, plugging it.
Got to plug it.
THR Comedy on TikTok. We're going to start being on there soon.
Okay.
But our full length first recorded episode will be next month when we all take our little trip.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Oh, me too, man. See, but like I said, we're going to go on this episode. We're going to eat. They're not even here right now. They'll be here in March. But like I said, before we do all that, again, as always, I've got this man's best friends, BB and Izzy, with me. Doing smoke tricks and whatnot. You can't put a camera on these motherfuckers. The minute you put a camera on these motherfuckers, they
Show out.
Oh, they're going to act up.
Don't know how to act.
So, boys, here's the startup question. What is the smartest thing you ever seen an animal do? Like the smartest thing you ever seen an animal do?
I don't know. I didn't prepare for this.
You mean the question I gave you fucking 2 days ago?
You know what I think is pretty damn smart?
What's that?
How elephants can paint.
All elephants can paint?
No. There's more than one. But you've seen what I'm talking about. Can every dog sit? I know some that fucking won't.
Yeah.
I think the smartest thing that first comes to mind is like how dolphins and like sea turtles and stuff, they always go back. It's like that they have a map like built in their
That's
brain.
You know, birds and shit do that too.
They do.
It's not hard when it's flat.
So
That's right.
we're not. We can't even touch that today. But the smartest thing I've ever seen a fucking animal.
Wow.
Well, we can no longer edit and shit out anymore, so that was my first little mistake. An animal.
There'll be more.
The smartest shit I've ever seen an animal do is I seen a fucking squirrel with a whole toaster strudel with like fucking the icing and everything on it with one bite took out of it, like human sized bite. So this son of a bitch stole a whole toaster strudel during breakfast. I don't know how he done it, but I just saw the fucking end of it.
Squirrels are devious.
But around here, these motherfuckers are crazy. They don't give a shit about
Oh, yeah.
nothing.
Reminds me
I've
of,
had-
seagulls.
Oh, seagulls don't give a shit about nothing either.
Yeah, I've had squirrels out golfing, and they would hop in your cart like when you're on the tee box and take your friggin' hot dog.
Like the whole way is hot dog.
Bags of chips, they'll take anything.
Now I've seen seagulls take chips and shit. Like, them
Yeah.
motherfuckers don't give a damn. You be eating the chip and they take that motherfucker.
They'll poop on you too. Like they egg.
Bo, there is a hawk around the shop where I work at that has just been pooping in this one square of the parking lot, and it's just water don't wash this shit off. It's just white. It's a sparkling of white all over this one corner
That's
of
because
the
you
street.
shit up your toilet.
It's
gotta
got to be.
I'm letting the thing in.
Well, he said he was gonna pay rent, but some bitch lied. But okay, no matter how smart those animals were, the ones we're going to be covering today are the best of the best. The few, the proud, the animals who served in the fucking military, man.
They need to put us on National Geographic or some shit.
I would. Uh, I need to do voiceovers for National Geographic. I need to. Anybody who does that for a living or knows who sets that shit up, I need it. I fucking need it. But I'm not talking about like horses and like cattle and all that other shit. That's not what we're gonna be like covering today. I'm thinking more of like, we're gonna in true rabbit hole fashion. We're gonna bring you the oddities.
Okay.
From like Rambo bears to like feline 007s.
Okay.
So y'all get comfy. Hell, invite your pet because we're about to jump in on this shit. Like I said earlier, people, we has had business deals with animals like livestock, clearing land, supplying meat, milk, all that other good shit, down to like your house cat who brings you a dead bird because that some bitch thinks you can't hunt. That's the only reason he brings. It's not a gift.
I'm bringing it to impress you.
Oh yeah.
Look what I did.
I finally did it. I caught him.
So of course they would be used in like military settings. And the first type that we're going to discuss is for like sending information. The quick, secure, and transportation of information is vital in times of war. The faster you can get a damn message down the hill, then like the faster you can do that. Like faster you know what's going on, the faster you can react.
Yeah, it could be life or death.
And who did America and Great Britain trust with these kind of tasks during World War II? Fucking homing pigeons.
Yep.
The winged menace of every large city was once like they were the living versions of like a cup and a string. Them motherfuckers were built to like they could fly extremely long distances and they would stop at nothing just to get back home. That's literally their whole idea. I go from here, I go back home. And they've had like damn good stats. Like damn good stats. There's somewhere in this hoopla right here, but we'll get to them. But they've got damn good fucking stats.
I can see where that, especially with the time you said World War II, I can see where that was popular and fast. But it would be interesting, at a certain point, like if your enemy kind of caught word of it, and they'd be like almost distracted from shooting you to trying to shoot the birds. Which is almost like a good thing for you too, because then
motherfuckers just pointing rifles in there.
Yeah. That's kind of what I thought about.
Just like the guy from John Wick 3 that had the pigeon empire.
Yes,
on
the guy from Matrix.
Yeah, Morbius. Well, the U.S. deployed over 54,000 of these pigeons. They were trained and handled for the sole purpose of delivering intel. And these motherfuckers, like I said, were good. 90% of what would be sent over would make it. Like the intel back and forth, that's 90% of like retrieval rate.
Right. It's a big success rate.
Now I'm assuming they didn't just send one pigeon with one message. Like they would send a couple with the same message.
I would imagine.
To make sure it gets there, not just, I wouldn't trust just one.
See,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
My issue behind it is it's really good stats. It sounds good on paper. But my goofy ass thinks, okay, what if that 90% wasn't really that important, but the 10% that they didn't get there was like could end the war yesterday kind of information.
They're all hanging out in the park, picking up scraps and stuff. People feeding them.
Oh, bro, it could be
enemies over here with bread.
Oh, bro, the 90% could be like, have you seen any good movies lately? Or like, no, you hang up first. Oh God. And like the 10% could be like I said, enemy locations, who surrendered. That could be the shit not being sent. But that's just, my brain and how it works. And we actually have a famous pigeon from this time.
Okay.
named Cher Ami. Cher Ami?
I got
Something
you.
like that.
I trust you. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
works.
we'll go with that.
Jeremy.
Yeah, Cher Ami.
Jeremy. Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Like Jeremy.
No. It's CHER, like Cher, or chair, or whatever. Something French. Something French.
Okay.
And AMI, Amy.
All right.
Chair Amy. And she was a black check cock homing pigeon. And I don't know shit about pigeons, but I really wanted to tell you what kind of pigeon that was.
Okay.
A black check cock homing pigeon.
And she was famous.
She was famous. So, she was one of 600 birds that was given to the U.S. by England in 1918. This bird would go on to save an entire battalion of soldiers.
Mm.
So
She deserves a raise.
Oh, son.
We need to hang a damn medal on her.
Oh, we gonna tell y'all ain't heard the most of it. Y'all ain't heard the fucking most of it. So I'm gonna take y'all to the date. Where was I at in my horse puckery? But like I said, 1918.
Okay. That was before World War II. That's World War I times.
Yep. The afternoon of October 4th, the men known as the Lost Battalion under the command of Major Whitsley were surrounded by Germans as they were fighting, surrounded by German forces. Fuck me,
Slow
running.
down.
Yeah. German forces. There we go. As they were fighting all them back, they were also taking artillery shells from their own people because of like a location mix up. They weren't where they were supposed to be because of the constant battling and shit. So they were taking artillery fire from like everybody, like their own people were sending that shit over. So like it was her, and I think they sent, let me give y'all the right answer. Oh no, the major used their last bird, which was Cher Marie or Cher Amy, whatever it is, to send a message to stop the artillery shells. And about an hour later, here she comes back. She's missing a leg, chest busted open, like shrapnel hit so hard it broke the breastplate.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't go down?
No, she made it home, cuz. And they stopped artillery fire.
That's how I'd be on my way home from work.
Leg gone, chest busted open.
Went through a freaking war and got back.
Oh man, dude, she ended up being like stuffed and put in like the Smithsonian and all that shit.
That's cool. That's really cool.
But she ended up saying like she's the reason that the Lost Battalion survived that attack.
So we know, in regards to the pigeons, they used them in World War II. World War II back to World War One. So that's how long they used that form of communication. That shows how good it was. I would take that as. It's reliable.
Even people do it to this day.
Well,
like
they
they'll
still
raise
use
pigeons and shit like that and send messages.
Just ask Mike Tyson.
I don't want to talk about Mike Tyson and his pigeons. He might get upset with me.
He'd be knocking on the door. Jordy.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
You got something to say about my pigeons? That was a joke. I know you do podcasts and shit now. My hands ain't built like that. So this next one just sounds badass to say. Like this next animal I'm going to cover just sounds so badass to say. A bear that not only served but fought against fucking Nazis and Soviets.
They were able to control a bear.
I wouldn't say control.
In the starting phases of World War II, Poland would be invaded from both sides by Nazi Germany and Soviet Russia, which caused a large number of like Polish POWs. With the assistance of from Britain, a lot of those POWs would go on and form what is called the Polish Free Army. So now that you've heard like the army and stuff like that and shit, so We're going to talk about the bear that fought fucking Nazis and Soviets.
Okay.
That would be terrifying if I was on the other side.
Because this Polish Free Army had a famous member. His name was Wojtek. 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 A Syrian brown bear. He was found alone as a cub by a boy who was taking him to a train station. He found the bear alone without like the mom and all that, and then took him to this train station in Hamadan. It's Western Iran.
Okay.
Like many other like passings, like he would like many of the merchants at the time, he was trying to make money off the soldiers going back and forth and stuff.
Mhm.
So he was trying to sell the bear. Well, he got purchased by a Polish officer for his young niece. The niece cared for the bear for 3 months or so, basically, before he was turned over to a branch of the Polish Artillery Supply Corps. I don't know why he got turned over. I guess he was getting too big, but
They signed him up for artillery.
Was this Power World?
he took to artillery life like fish to water, cuz he showed,
Bro was slinging shells.
it showed so fast that this Polish Yogi Bear, bro, he soon developed a taste for beer, cigarettes, and coffee.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's just one of the boys.
He was either a soldier or a blue collar worker at that point. Like, and before y'all ask, he smoked and ate the cigarettes because was a savage. And honestly, this kind of case right here gives me a big thing for like nurture versus nature. Because the more time he spent with these soldiers, the more he became to act like them. He would wrestle and like horseplay with these motherfuckers. Like he would stand on his hind legs and march with them.
Well, one thing you know about, I wouldn't say no like that, but one thing you know about fighting times and people that fight together, it makes you real close. Like, that brotherhood. And throw a bear in the mix, he probably felt like that was his family just as much,
Mm-hmm.
He
He
probably
hasn't,
cared
even,
for those
he hasn't
people.
even seen battle at this point. This is just him hanging out with the soldiers.
Okay.
This is just him living everyday life. And he quickly became a hit with like the soldiers and civilians that would be around him. He actually became the mascot of the 22nd Artillery Supply Company. Then you fast forward to the early 1944. The 22nd, along with the rest of the Polish Second Corps, was transferred to Italy. And there was this rule basically like you can't bring your mascot animals, you can't like all that other good shit. That did not matter. They found you want to hear how they found a way? He was enlisted.
He was actually enlisted.
He was actually enlisted. I'm talking like active military personnel. He had a serial number, a pay book. He slept in the tents with them. He even had a job.
Did he have dog tags?
He whole 9 yards.
Bear tag?
But his job was to carry crates of artillery shells, and you would actually see him like carrying that shit by himself. We're talking about these huge fucking like
strong.
Yeah. He was even involved in one of the most hard-fought battles of the war, the Battle of Monte Cassino. Monte Cassino?
Okay.
And for his involvement, he was promoted to. He went from a private to a corporal, and even became the official emblem of the 22nd Artillery Supply, which now, if you see it, is a bear holding an artillery shell.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Approximately, did they say what size he got? Did they say anything about how big of a bear he became?
I know the brown bears.
Yeah, he was over 6 foot, like a couple 100 pounds easy.
Yeah.
But you also got to realize most of his fucking diet was beer, cigarettes, and fucking coffee. Bro, how terrifying would that shit be? You sitting there going
Bear
through,
smoking a
Yeah.
cigarette.
Stressed out.
and he's just holding the automatic weapon, looking at you like, well.
Trying to steal your picnic basket.
Hey,
But yeah, one
boo-boo.
thing's seeing a bear. Another one is the bear seeing you and raising a rifle. What the fuck?
I wouldn't get over the fact that he looked at me, chewed 3 or 4 cigarettes, and just stared. Like, nah, I'm shitting my pants immediately. Like, immediately.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
That's a really cool story. I like that about the bear.
Well, unlike our little feathered friend from the last story,
Mm-hmm.
this bear has a happy ending, actually.
All right.
He ends up retiring, and his final home would be the Edinburgh Zoo in Scotland.
Oh, they put his ass in a zoo.
That's messed up.
In 1947, where he was a big hit with journalists and children, he was on the BBC a couple times, which is the British Broadcasting Channel. British Broadcasting Channel. British fucking Broadcasting Channel, you children.
You're the one that brought it up.
He even would get random visits from his fellow soldiers who, would bring him cigarettes, shoot the shit about the old days. Which I would think would be cool as a kid. You walking past the bear exhibit, there's like 3 soldiers down there smoking cigarettes.
Well, I was just thinking, like a family going to the zoo, and a little kid's like, "Mom, what's that?" And you see this bear like chiefing a damn Marlboro, and it's like, "Honey, don't look at him."
Oh, God. So, this next one I've got for y'all, which you actually brought up earlier while we was talking, is fresh out of a fucking comic book. Like, there's no way this idea, me and you would have thought of during our Sly Cooper days. Like, legitimately.
Good times.
Yeah, looks like Cooper.
I want to tell you guys about bat bombs. And I'm not talking about something that Batman throws off his belt.
Okay.
This is an actual government-funded project. So the gist of the idea is we take these bats, we put these little timed incendiary bombs on them, and you let them roost into the city. And then they would blow up and just catch fire everywhere.
Okay.
Well,
I bet Peter wouldn't like that.
What time frame is this? Are we in World War II? Are we in Vietnam? Are we
the idea was pitched in 1942
World War II?
and kept going until about the mid 1945.
Okay. Do we? You might have this in your notes. But do we have an idea of the bat, like the size of the bat?
It was actually, I think I do. Where are they at? A small incinerator bat. Okay. I did not write it down, but it was some kind of
Just curious.
white-bellied.
Because some are like this.
Yeah.
some are
It was
like
it was a small white-bellied bat.
Okay.
I think it was. But they would the idea was to make them extremely fucking cold to where they go to sleep. Put them in this container, which kind of simulated like a bomb-looking thing. And then they would drop it over, and before it hit the ground, parachutes would hit, and they would fly out. It was supposed to be used on Japan.
Okay.
And you think about
What happened? What did they decide to use, Jordy?
I was thinking the same thing.
Not bat bombs. I'm going to tell you, it was not bat bombs. Oh, God. But at the time, I mean, you really got to think about it. Japan's buildings were mostly made of paper, wood, and like some mortar brick and stuff at the bottom. So the idea was, instead of having to have soldiers go in and clear shit out, just burn everything to the ground.
Very flammable.
Which, I mean, like you said, they kind of ended up doing, but that's another podcast entirely. We're talking about cute bat bombs. So, where were we at on this? Okay, like I said, the testing and stuff like that that's where it started messing up. Like I said, it got wrote to a letter in the White House
Okay.
in 1942.
That would be FDR.
And the guy who wrote it to the White House was just a dental surgeon from Pennsylvania who just happened to be a friend of Eleanor Roosevelt's. His name was Little S. Adams. Little S. Adams.
And this dentist had this idea of using the bats. It was his pitch, and it got some traction.
Yes,
And they did test it.
they did.
He must have been on that good shit.
Did it ever actually get used, like in a combat scenario, or no? I couldn't see how that would be success. Like the success rate would probably be like negative.
The testing led to bats to set a New Mexico airfield
Mhm.
on fire.
Yeah, could you imagine the plane just blowing up because the bats prematurely exploded?
Oh, in 1943, they roosted under fuel tankers.
Oh god.
And it caught the fucking base on fire. Or it could be the simple fact that like this project was passed from hands to hands to hands. It passed more than a damn blunt at a house party, man. Like this shit went everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the main reason that this project never saw actual battle, it was taking too long. It was taking too long for the stuff to do. Like, it makes sense because at the timeline, like, it was pitched in 1942. It would have been set back to like what mid 1945, and they said it would still be like. No, it got set back to 1945. And as of 1944, a fleet admiral by the name of Ernest J. King said, fuck it, we're done. We're done playing with bats. We're done setting shit on fire. And that's after they already spent like $2 million.
In 1940s money.
And that's like 32, I think I looked at it, it was 32 point something million today. And again, it was all off the fucking back of some dental surgeon.
That's where our tax-paying money
Yeah, but
goes.
think of the, and I'm sure there's plenty, any animal you name, but think of the ideas that we don't know about. Like what they wouldn't, like the test that they tried that didn't work out that we don't know about. Yeah, they tried shit with everything.
Strapping machine guns to lions and stuff.
I mean, you know, you had to consider dropping a virus on the enemy's food supply in a discreet way.
I think they have this
Like
thing
through
called the
cattle, through
Geneva
pork.
Convention that like
Sorry.
permits shit like that. I'm not.
Okay.
If we're gonna bring up what
Okay.
happened in Japan, I'm gonna at least bring
Okay.
up the fucking Geneva
Okay.
Convention. You talking about giving people smallpox and shit?
More.
Oh god. All right, y'all. This last little set starts us in 1960. And this program is actually still going on today.
Must be a
With
hit.
dogs.
The Navy Marine Mammal Program.
Oh.
The Navy trains dolphins and sea lions to work alongside soldiers in the ocean. There are 5 marine mammal teams, and the teams are known as MK4, MK7, MK8, who use dolphins, MK5, who use sea lions, and MK6, who use both.
Well, you've got to look at SeaWorld, the way that they train those things for the shows and stuff. They're probably
Did you just compare the
fairly
Navy to
easy
SeaWorld?
train. Well, you know, as a metaphor.
Could you imagine how much ruckus you could cause on the seas with a killer whale?
Mm-hmm.
Them jokers would fuck some shit up.
But
they'd rip fins off of submarines. They'd tip over small boats.
we ever get the fucking capability of controlling sea life?
No.
Every war is over.
Giant squids.
The Kraken,
Yeah. Sharks.
Megalodoons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a megalodon. I'm a megalodoon.
Look, you want to talk about lions with machine guns?
Mm-hmm.
Megalodoons with machine guns. So, like I said, they all have certain jobs. Like MKs 4, 7, and 8 their jobs are mine locations, like using the natural echolocations. They search for bombs and shit like that.
That makes sense.
MK4 is there for like tethered mines, like think the mines from Shark Tales, like with the chains that come up. That's what MK4 looks for.
Okay.
And then MK7 would be searching like seafloor sediment and all that, like buried mines and shit like that. And MK8 would find like safe paths for troops to land ashore. Like if they've got mines and stuff, and they would navigate and all that shit through for
Could you imagine trusting your life on a dolphin?
them.
I mean, like your life.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Dolphins do actually like.
I mean, they're smart.
Save people from shark attacks
Yeah.
and stuff all the time.
See, MK5 to me is real interesting because I don't know how the fuck do they know what they're looking for at all times? Because MK, like, where there was teams to hunt mines, MK5 is dedicated to recovering equipment that is being test fired from ships and planes. They are also trained to rescue like victims of airplane crashes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
That's when you really fucking trust in your life to a damn dolphin.
Like, come here.
Oh my
I'll be
god!
tapping the water.
Help
Come
me!
here. Please. I'm scared.
Oh my god! But oh lord, what if they done to? Because if they had the fucking sea lions and shit there, oh yeah, because MK5 are sea lions. So it's not a dolphin coming to save you; it's that fucking sea lion looking you in the face. I don't know if I can trust that son of a bitch.
I'd have to.
Yeah, and then they start making. Oh,
Oh, what are you saying?
Oh. So we've covered the scouts, we've covered retrievers.
We've covered the air and the seas.
Let's talk about the team of guard dogs out of these fucking marine mammals, son. They've got a fucking team of monsters.
Mm-hmm.
MK6, which uses both seals and dolphins. These motherfuckers are designed to get enemies that are trying to sneak into naval bases.
So how do they distinguish?
They are colorblind.
I'm just curious.
What?
Dogs.
These aren't dogs.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the dogs.
No, these are the guard dogs of the program.
Oh,
They call
okay.
them the guard dogs.
Okay, yeah, it's your fault
Oh, I'm so
for
sorry.
the confusion.
Well, dolphins and sea lions stand watch over ships and harbors.
Just curious on how they would distinguish them.
If an enemy diver,
And then
an enemy is detected by a dolphin, it will like bump into their air tank and leave a little device on the air tank. And it's connected to a buoy that would explode in the water.
jerk your ass up.
No, it's like once they pull, it will alert the soldiers to the location. The sea lions will come up and just bite you on the fucking wrist.
Imagine how terrifying that would be, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, yeah. You get bit and you get jumped by a fucking dolphin and a sea lion. Shit starts exploding,
Oh, you're done.
and then there's just everybody's pointing guns at your stupid ass. Like sincerely.
And you guys sit there and listen to that damn dolphin laugh. Got your ass.
Oh, and how's the sea lion laugh?
Ooh, ooh. With his clap.
Oh god. So my question is, do you boys feel bad that these little animals is way more badass than all of us?
I do not.
Because even the pigeon's more of a savage.
I don't feel bad at all. I think it's, these animals are capable of stuff that we're not capable of, like flight and swimming underwater for long periods of times and stuff. I think you're just using a resource that could benefit you, and it worked out.
What was the bear's advantage?
The bear's strong as fuck.
I thought you were gonna tell me it was a fucking bear.
Wapjack is the shit.
Not the yeah. And if I might have to say, if I had any of them that we talked about today, Wapjack or Waller or whatever.
He's the most relatable. He's just one of the boys, you know.
I mean,
I
yeah.
hate that they put him in a zoo.
Pounding cigarettes. And
I wish like the government would have just pinned up like 4 acres and just put him a little hut or house, you know, some shit.
This is where you live now.
Gave him like a girl bear, you know, let him live his life. Let him reproduce, you know.
He said he give him a girl
Give him a
bear.
girl bear, you know.
clapping cheeks.
Put him out in the pasture.
Oh, put him out in the
Put
pasture.
him out in the pasture.
Oh man,
I
but
think he deserves that.
yeah, I would have to give it that.
Dude's a war hero.
Believe it or not, though, we've only like scratched the surface of like animal involvement in like our forces. So it's a strong possibility that there could be a part 2 to this down the road.
Yeah.
If that's like something y'all are interested in, definitely let us know. Isaac, your opinion doesn't matter here. I thought you knew that when I had like the second episode you were here.
That was pretty good.
It was.
I definitely learned a thing or two.
You definitely learned a thing or
I
two.
mean, I was aware of some of these animals, but not to the extent that you had in your notes. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, the bat bombs kill me.
That bombs,
Yes.
I can see where that's a massive failure.
That's like squirrel machine guns. Like
Just on math.
bat bombs and squirrel machine guns.
You know what animal? I'm surprised. I know you mentioned there's more. I'm just surprised that you didn't say yet.
What's that?
A raccoon.
Or gorilla. That would be
Oh,
terrifying.
fuck that.
Y'all seen Planet of the Apes, right?
Yeah.
Like the
And
newest one,
that's
the
why
newer
you don't
one?
look. That's why they're not in the military. They don't want to train them motherfuckers like
They're
that.
too smart.
I mean, really think about it. We've had Planet of the Apes for how long now? I'm not training one of them motherfuckers how to use a gun. I seen how that shit happen. You seen the video online where that motherfucker is just waving that fucking AK-47
Flinging
around?
it around.
Yeah.
First off, recoil's not a thing to them. They can hang a 50 cal and just
Let it loose.
It ain't nothing but a thing.
Oh, so if y'all haven't learned anything about dolphins, fucking bears, pigeons, bats, or anything like that, please take away you never give an ape an assault rifle.
Never.
No,
Never give an ape an assault
don't do
rifle.
that.
But we hope y'all enjoyed everything, and y'all be good. We see you next time.